How many of us trapped ourselves in our rooms because it was the only place that made us feel safe? Safe, but also isolated. It was a weird place where we felt like we could really be ourselves, but we also felt like it was confining because we really wanted to just connect, but we couldn't because we didn't have people to connect to outside of us. I woke up this morning and I said a couple days ago that I wanted to do some rage writing, which is pretty much a way for people who suppress their anger, pretty much people who struggle to feel anger towards past experiences or people. Um, and sometimes you don't really realize that you're angry because you just are so always compassionate and have so much love. I decided to just write out, which is rage write, where you just write out all the things that you wish you could have said to people in the past that like hurt you, that you just was too nice to say, because it's still stored in there. I just wrote it out so it can get out, and I ripped it up afterwards. And then I also felt drawn to pull out my memory box. I wanted to take away all the things that connected me to people in the past that no longer uh like I want in my lives or I want any attachments or ties to. So I did that. So as I'm like pulling things out of my memory box, the song Red Room comes in my head. And I don't really listen to that song. I've heard how significant it is, but I never really listened to it until now. And so I listened to it and I was like, trying to listen to the lyrics and see what it means. And then I looked it up and I learned about the Red Room. And I didn't really know the history behind it. But anyways, it made me think of the spiritual book club that is we're hosting today. Well, actually, an Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius. I feel like all Aquariuses will know this feeling. And it's a really good time to read books that make you really think differently about like your experiences, especially as people who felt very like trapped in an identity and that like because they couldn't be themselves because of the people around them shunning them or making them feel bad. And it's just like this inner passion that you have of freedom and wanting to be yourself and being like trapped into a space because you couldn't. So it's like feeling this whole like passion and this bigness alive in you, but being like confined. If any of this resonates with you, I encourage you to join us tonight. Us fellow Aquarians and anybody else who just crave to be them and connect to the people that are meant for them, because we are going to be reading books that color our inner feelings and help us to better understand ourselves and be freed from any confinements.